Well, hello there, my darlings. How's it going? My name is Craig, and today's video is just going to be initial impressions on a gem playmat. So if you're not aware of what gem playmats are, they're basically cloth playmats and often considered by people to be the top tier of cloth playmats. Now, I wanted to test this, so I picked one up for myself, and let me just tell you, if you live in the UK or outside of America, it's a bitch getting one of these. Just an absolute fucking nightmare. But I finally got it in. This is the Aztec design, but that's not very relevant. I mainly just wanted to get a gem playmat, and this was the one available at the time, because these are very short printed. I mean, these went, you know, out of stock, unavailable in like 5 to 10 minutes flat. I managed to, you know exactly when this was gonna, you know, hit the site and everything and hit the store, and I managed to pick one up. Now, I got the regular edition. There's a regular and a limited edition. The limited edition went out of stock in about 3 seconds flat. Because people really want to scalp those and just, you know, buy them and hold them back to try and resell for ridiculous amounts. But I picked up the regular edition, and the main point of this is, again, I just really want to know, are they that good? Are they as good as people say? Now, this is actually going to be the first cloth playmat I've ever owned. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of cloth playmats, but I figured I would be open about it. I will eventually, a few months down the line, give you a fully fleshed out review of this. Not the envelope, what's in it. But yeah, anyway, let's just get into it, I suppose, and, you know, see how this thing comes packaged. So, let's pull it out. I can fill an invoice in there. So, let's pull that out. Yeah, that's irrelevant. That's for me. So as you can see, it comes in this nice branded bag. Oh man, I can feel the softness of that mat through the bag. Oh wow. Anyway, nothing on the back. It is resealable, so there's a little lock up there. If you wanted to reuse to store fresh cuts of meat in your refrigerator, you could do that. I wouldn't recommend it. Oh wow. Oh wow. This thing feels like I'm pulling out a fucking, like, a fur coat or something. This thing is really fucking soft. Like, you can see when I struck my finger across it, against the fur, you can see it leaving kind of streaks, which I imagine, yeah, if you go in the other direction, they just disappear. That is incredibly soft. Like, wow. It's so fucking soft. Sorry, I'm like petting it. So let's get this fully folded out. There's the back of it. We'll take a look at it in a moment. I am seeing, I don't know if you can see this one here. You probably, oh, there's one off screen actually. It's kind of fraying a little bit on the back. Oh, okay, never mind. That's just a loose fiber. Okay. I guess that's just a loose fiber. So I guess expect partial loose fibers right out of the box. Oh man, this thing is a big playmat. A few bits of fluff on it, but that's all right. Oh wow, this thing is incredibly soft. So here's the design. I don't know if you can really see it really well. As you can see, it's got kind of traditional Aztec patterns. What I'll actually do is I'll have some higher quality close-ups for you guys to look at. So I'll put those on screen now. As you can see, it has kind of an Aztecish design to it. Is that a term? Aztecish? I don't know. But it has the gem logo on it with you know, game-ending mats. That's what gem stands for. Has a border around the outside. Got kind of a dragon-ish theme to it. You know, just typical kind of Aztec, almost Mayan-ish looking designs. There's still bits of fluff on it, as I'm seeing here. You probably won't see that in the close-ups, because I'm going to remove those, because that's bugging the fuck out of me. I'm going to go ahead and sort of take a look at the outside of the mat, because with playmats like this, I've always been afraid of fraying. No pun intended, afraid. Now, right away, I can't see any obvious fraying. Just sort of taking a look at the outside here. Again, I'll have some footage. Yeah, I can't see any massive amounts of fraying anywhere. There's a lot of loose fibers, but that's fine. I mean, that's something that I just... Oh, that's a big one. Look at that. You can see this one right here. That's just about ready to go if that gets nicked. It looks like it's ready to stop fraying away, so gonna have to be cautious of that. I'm definitely seeing contenders for fraying, mostly horizontal pieces. You can see where the horizontal thread stops right there. That looks like a contender to stop fraying if you're not careful with it. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. That one's, I'm not sure if that's a loose fiber or not. So again, let me go up close. Yeah, that's ready to come away. It's quite scary having a cloth playmat because I'm seeing so many contenders for fraying. I'm focusing on that a little too much, but that is something that's always scared me about the idea of a cloth playmat. But just taking a look at it, around the outside, I am seeing some fibers here and there that look like they're wanting to go, but I'm not going to pull at those because that can only make things worse. It looks like they're going to stay just fine if I don't agitate them. So just, I guess, be gentle. Now, one good thing I can say about the mat right away is the details look more detailed than I figured they would. They look sharper than I thought they would because I've only really seen close-ups of the details, and that really shows off, you know, the imperfections, which you can't avoid. Even if you were printing on a professional level, you can't avoid, you know, all the imperfections. So it looks really, really clean from where I'm sitting, which is a normal height. For, you know, looking down on your playmat and dueling. The color of this thing is a pretty rich red. Obviously, you're not going to get an exact replica of that through the camera because, you know, I can only color correct things so much. It looks really, really nice. It is quite contrasted with the yellow. The yellow is a little bit deeper than I'd have expected, but, you know, it's not my mat. I didn't fucking make it. I'm definitely liking it. I do like the look of it thus far. It does look quite appealing, you know. I would want to play on something that looks like this, and the feel of it, again, incredibly soft. I can't emphasize how soft this thing feels. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. There are a few more loose threads on the outside ready for fraying than I would have expected. If you're careful with it, I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem. This will be the only playmat I use for the next few months before I come back to give it a review to let you know how it looks after that. I will say the crease here is slightly annoying because when I'm using this on my desk, I'm not going to have it folded up like that because, no, that, if I can get this on screen, that's not a big enough fill to play on, so probably going to have to fold it sort of in the middle up here and put it on my desk. So I don't know, we'll see how this plays out, we'll see how it holds up, and I'll get back to you guys with an actual review a little bit later. But yeah, initial thoughts, really comfortable, really soft. I can't emphasize that enough. If the marks is gonna be something that bothers you, yeah, you probably don't want to get the mat. I mean, you can, you know, just wipe them away, but it's just something that's naturally going to happen when you're playing on it. It does kind of make you feel like royalty. It's a very nice, soft feel. The backing is kind of just sort of typical of what you'd expect from a cloth playmat, because I have, although I've never owned one before, I'm not a cloth playmat guy. I have felt plenty of cloth playmats from you know, people at locals and everything having spell grounds. It looks like it's a little bit tighter on the knitting. I will say I'm not 100% sure though on that, because spell grounds has changed the size of their sort of knit gap, I guess you could call it, a couple of times, so I don't know if this matches or is tighter than the current Spellground playmats that are produced. The fraying is my biggest fear, but I'll let you know how that holds up. I'm not going to tug at any threads. If something is a loose thread, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it, so that you guys can see how this holds up in a few months' time. Another concern I potentially have is the detailing. If a card, you know, the edge of a card sleeve rubs against it, will it nick away at the detailing? Since it's kind of, you know, it's not like knitted in there, it's actually just sort of, I guess, painted on, dyed on. I'm not sure what they're using to apply that. I'm actually going to grab some cards here and see if they get caught up on the detailing. So it definitely rubs against it. It doesn't look like there's any like paint coming off of it. This is a Fripa factory for anyone wondering. Doesn't seem like it's initially stripping any details, but that there is resistance. You can kind of feel it when you have a big clump of detailing like this. You can definitely feel the detailing under the card. I'm kind of going out of my way to do that. I don't think in natural play this would occur too often, although it is something that would concern me. Let's try a foil sleeve. So I have a foil sleeve here. It's about the same, although foil sleeves definitely have harder corners to them, so I don't really want to try that because I am actually afraid that might... Yeah, that's definitely not something you want to do, because that looks like that could definitely do some damage. So if you have foil sleeves, really be careful of the corners catching on the detailing, because I feel like that could definitely do some damage. So be careful of that. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely use this thing, give it a few months, and come back with a fully fleshed out review, and see if this is really the creme de la creme of playmats, or should I say, gem de la gem. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this initial impressions video. It's quite a scary thing having this. It does scare me quite a bit, because there are quite a few things about it that that I'm afraid of. So if any of you have ever owned a gem playmat, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experience with them. And as always, take care and do one.